Hey everybody, this is the Fedora Filipino. We're here at Glass Knife Restaurant and I'm with the president of FSA at UCF. This is Allyson Nepomuceno. And a little backstory. So I'm the first president of what we used to call UCF FSA, and she is now the, what number?
19.
There you go. So we are sitting together, and I've done this now for 8 or 9 years, where I started with David Galindo, and throughout the years, I would come back and talk shop with the presidents of FSA at UCF, and seeing how I could support them. Because I think one of the best things that you can do as a former member and as an alumni here at UCF is to be able to support the generation that's coming up after me. And that's very important, because if they don't know about how our origins or roots came from and nobody tells them, then they're just going to go from the history that they've been taught. So I want to teach them everything that I can about our history, and then we go ahead and then we collaborate and talk about what they're doing now to bring up our wonderful organization, which has been around for, gosh, a long time, a very long time. So enough for me talking. We're going to go ahead and talk about your presidency. How did you get involved in FSA at UCF?
So for a while, I didn't have any real indication, like roots of my Filipino culture. Like I would introduce myself to people, and they're like, "What are you? Like, what kind of Asian are you?" Which is such an awful question.
Yep.
But I mean, like, I'm Filipino, but I didn't feel Filipino. I just looked Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
So. Way back home, like in Tampa, I started getting involved at the Filipino Center there. That's where they hold Film Fest. And I also started being in like their youth group, started getting involved with like helping with event planning and stuff. And then with that, some of those people ended up graduating high school and going on to college, and they're like, oh, they have like a Filipino club there, you should join. They definitely have one, like wherever you're going, all like the big schools in Florida have one. So I was like, okay. Then I ended up going to UCF. I didn't know anyone from my high school, but at least I found like where the club was, and I was like, I'll figure it out, like I'll find friends. And now I have like all my friends are from FSA. So
That's awesome. You know what? Her story is like my story. You walk in the camp when you go from a high school where you're tight knit, when you go to a college where there's thousands of students, you don't know each other. You gotta literally get out there and you gotta meet people, and especially if I was the same way. You're Filipino, but you don't know anybody who's Filipino, or there's not a lot of people where I grew up. We had a very small community of Filipinos. But here in Orlando, and that's one of the reasons why I chose it, not just because of Disney World or Orlando as a city, but I chose UCF because it's a place that I knew was coming up and growing. And unbeknownst to me, UCF did not have a university or a college FSA club. That literally came from Moshan, who was the former president of UFFSA. So he was somehow connected to UCF and talking with other Filipinos, and long story short, he is who I connected with to become a candidate for presidency. But he's not the one who found me to go into like this particular club. It was a specific girl named Jane Mercado, and she asked me, "Hey, are you in any Filipino club?" I go, "What the heck is that?" So next thing you know, like her, I started to meet people, and next thing you know, I'm running for president. I've never done anything like that, and she probably has the same story. But once you get involved in the FSA at UCF, it's an amazing club, and you meet amazing people, and to see yourself grow not only as a student but within your culture. And she can talk more about what her experience was, but that's how I learned to become more Filipino, because you have to be around other people just like you, and it's hard to do that in a university setting. You can get lost in a university really quick. UCF was one of my ways to find myself, and that was really important for me as a person. But enough about me. Did you have the same experience?
Yes, so I was first looking for them. It wasn't like they approached me just because I saw so many like postings of people that like UF or like USF. I saw them like seeing like how much fun they had and how many Filipino people there were, and I was like honestly like taken aback. I was like, really? I thought that would have been like probably like 10, 15 of us, and then it would have been like a really small group, and like our meetings would be small. But then I saw like they're going off to like big dance competitions. And I was like, whoa, there's like hundreds of us.
Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
Where I live, but, like there was like very few of us. But after that, like I found them at like a tabling event during like orientation, and then I like got like their social media and everything, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. Like even if I don't know anyone, like I'll just show up. And then slowly after I like joined FOB, and I like told myself I'm not gonna join FOB. Like I need to focus on like my major and stuff. I was like.
Tell everybody who FOB is.
That's Fresh Off the Beats. He did do like a video on them about their win at DTJ, which is Deaf Talent Jam, where all of like the dance competitions, all of like the dance teams from all over Florida as well as like Georgia, the Filipino Student Associations or whatever they might call it, they join together and they have like a big dance competition to like celebrate their culture. But I was like, they look too cool. They convinced me. So then I ended up joining the team. Didn't know anyone either.
Right.
Everyone started forming like their friend groups and cliques, but eventually people were like, hey, I want to be friends with you, but like, you're so scary. And I was just like, what? I've literally never heard of that. Or they were like just watching me from afar, and I would just like sit there by myself and I drink water. I'm like, I wish I had friends. But now I have like a really big network of people that I can call like my friends and like close family, which is really nice.
So how did you get into becoming the president?
Oh,
There has to. There's always a road. So what was your road?
So for me, it was like first FOB, and then initially, if you're already in FOB, you're very involved in FSA because you have to go to practices all the time. You're around those people, and then you end up going to the GBMs together, and then you'll always have general body meetings. So that's like our meetings where we just connect like pop culture with like Filipino culture to make it like more palatable to people that are just now being introduced to Filipino culture, just as I was. So it'll be like little tidbits talking about like our history or like our food, and then we'll have it like with a different theme. So it can be like Disney theme, Marvel theme, stuff like that.
Y'all got some cool stuff I've been watching.
Yes.
It's fun.
So then after that, I ended up running for media. So I was like really wanting to like up my photography and like videography game, and it's also on the rise of like social media, like TikTok and stuff. We're going to more of a digital space and digital age. So I ran for media, and then after media, some people were pushing me to go for president. And I was like, and I was just like, okay, if not me, then who? So then I ended up stepping up to the plate. I also had like a lot of ideas and like big plans, but I didn't have like a platform or like a space to actually like put them into like fruition. So I took it upon myself with the support of like other people to run for president, and now here I am.
Awesome. So I think one of the things that I've watched over the number of years is the road that they've all taken. Because every time I look back at the previous year. Where was the president then? Either they're somewhere in the cabinet, and then from that leadership takes off, and next you know, the president. That I've seen every single person. If they become involved, that's where their trajectory goes for the last 8 or 9 years. So it's a neat story seeing how a person who doesn't have any friends or know anybody to become president. This is the same path that I took, and now I was fully invested and involved. And I'll tell you, it was rough in the beginning of trying to run the club for the very first time. I literally had no experience of doing any of that, but it's not about the experience. For me, at least, it was the passion to get it off the ground, to do this stuff. We were doing some groundbreaking stuff in my first year, and I got roasted for it big time. But I look back on it, and I see why I did it, and look where I am now. I'm here talking to you all with the president now, and this is the first president, and I'm still involved. And I think that's one of the biggest things. If you're able to do that, if you're able to come back and support, the organization that I helped co-found, that's really important for them, because it says, they care about us so much that they're taking their time away from their family, their job, whatever they're doing, and they come and support us. And that's why, leading into what we're going to talk about, which is Sayaw. Sayaw is tonight, and I believe it's the 14th annual, if I remember this correctly. So it's the 14th annual Sayaw, and if you want to go ahead and tell us what is the theme and what are we supposed to expect tonight?
All right, so
it's exciting.
Theme this year, I'm so excited to announce, is the Tale of Sayaw. So the Tale of Sayaw, we're alluding to Naruto. So if you guys are not familiar with Naruto, there's crash courses, like 5-minute crash courses that our dance coordinators made us watch just to get a little acclimated with what the storyline is generally.
But what is? I know what it is, because I've got elementary school kids telling this one kid is really involved in it, and I don't quite understand it, but it's anime, right?
Yeah,
it's anime. There you go.
So it's like anime related, and they're like basically put into like different tribes. I want to say, if you're familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's similar to that, where they're like separated into different groups based on like different like niches or like powers, and they're being trained as like ninjas. Basically, with the Tale of Sayaw, we're going to be going on a journey. Instead of having MCs tonight, our dance coordinators are going to be narrating, and they're going to be immersed in the storyline as characters that will be traveling through each and every dance. There's going to be around 7 dances, including our very own officer dance, where we like showcase every single dance that was in the performance.
Okay.
And then we also like give everyone a round of applause, as well as fresh off the beat. This is their first time showing a piece of their set for Sayaw.
Are you doing okay?
Or for Film Fest. So we'll get a little bit of a sneak peek for that. And then the rest of the dances are all traditional Filipino dances.
Awesome. So to give you an understanding of this, there wasn't a fresh off the beat back in the day. It was traditional dancing. That's what I did. I did traditional dancing, and then somewhere along FSA UCF's timeline, they added in the dance hip hop routine. So that's one of the things that they were able to add in. And so I did Def Talent Jam 4, 5, and 6. And this is a little history for you guys to understand. Def Talent Jam was mainly for the university's college students. Well, our group was alumni. I was the only one from UCF, and there was about 6 of them from UNF up in Jacksonville, University of North Florida. My friend Ken Paganiban and I, and the other 5 dancers that were behind us, we did a rap, they did a dance. It wasn't these short sets that they had at DTJ now. I mean, this stuff was long. I think we did ours for 15, 20 minutes, this particular set. It was long. But nonetheless, we won. So that technically is UCF's first win of Def Talent Jam, along with UNF. So I'm proud to say that. But I'm also proud to see over the years since I came back for Def Talent Jam 20, if you go on Def Talent Jam history on the YouTube channel, out of the 8 performances that have gone on since I've joined YouTube and have been recording them, I've done like 4 of those 8, half of them. But UCF's fresh off the beat, clearly over any other dance troupe from Florida, from the Florida teams or Georgia teams, have been in the top 3 consistently. Okay, they haven't won all the time, but consistently. Now last year they won, and that's exciting. So tonight I'm going to be able to meet with Bella and Kristen, I believe is her name, the FOB coordinator. We'll talk about that side of it. But to continue on, there's 2 dance troupes, so we're going to see the traditional ones tonight. So how excited are you tonight to? I know it's been a little stressful. We talked off camera, But that's neither here or there. But how excited are you to showcase what's happening tonight?
I'm so excited. I'm really happy for our dance group coordinators. Obviously, I've helped them along the way, but they've done like the majority of the heavy lifting. I've just done really background paperwork, but all of what you're really gonna see tonight of like from the costumes, because we have had to make new costumes since the first Sayaw. They've run their time.
Yeah.
But we did have people, parents that were like really passionate about like helping us like through Filipino arts and like celebrating our culture. They helped us make like new costumes, new skirts for the girls, do repairs and stuff. So all of what you're gonna see tonight is like the hard work of them, and I really want to emphasize that because they've stayed every single day for like the past like 6 weeks after school for 2 practices for like 2 dances, so 5+ hours I want to say every single day, and then also along with that like their officer duties and just like even the assigned meetings that we have just specifically for Sayaw just to make just today happen.
And I mean, whatever we see on stage, it doesn't show you the amount of work that behind the scenes, that not only the troupe but the decorations and just the committee that has to talk over, you know, how everything is supposed to run. That's a lot of work. So you see the final edition of it tonight. So go ahead and tell us where it's at. Obviously, this is recorded, so go ahead and tell us where it's at, what time, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yes, so it will be on UCF campus at Pegasus Ballroom at 5:30. The doors will open. We'll start our show at 6 o'clock. Hopefully everything goes according to plan, but you know, Filipino time.
Yep, Filipino time, baby.
Hopefully at 6 o'clock we'll start. We will be live streaming on Instagram Live if you guys want to check that out. And then that's all.
Okay, is there anything besides the performance in front of us? Is there anything else that they're going to do, or are you going to showcase? Or is it just the performances?
We will have like during intermission, one of the members, they're part of like this Filipino band that they do covers as well as like
Okay.
kind of like mellow rock music, and they will be performing during intermission. During that time, we'll also be serving food as well.
That's what I want to hear.
Yes, we'll be serving food when the doors open, as well as intermission for anyone that didn't get food, and then we'll also be having a photo booth. So
okay, see, last time I went to Sayaw, they had all that. Now with COVID has screwed up everything, and so I was scared that maybe they wouldn't have that kind of stuff. But now that restrictions have becoming lifted, you know, people are getting vaccinated or whatever. Now it's a much more open space. Now we can go back to normal from what we used to do, and that's exciting to come back normal and be able to enjoy Sayaw and you know, meeting new people besides you know, Miss Allyson over here and some other people. So I'm really, really excited tonight. I hope you guys, you know, join us on live stream if you're not able to go. And what we'll do is obviously this is recorded, but we'll take a picture, then we'll go ahead and send it out to everybody where they can go ahead and watch it on Instagram Live, I think. Instagram Live or something like that.
We'll also be posting the performances after we like edit them and stuff.
Okay.
So if you weren't able to go, you'll at least get the performances like on our YouTube channel.
Okay, awesome. So again, we are in the VIP booth, and I labeled this VIP very important presidents. That's why we're in this booth. And if you've ever been to Glass Knife, it's an awesome place to go. Let me go ahead and show you one of the desserts over here. It's half eaten, but you'll see the videos, or go onto their website and enjoy it here in Winter Park, Florida. All right, so again, this is First President Tuxtaka, and this is
Allyson, Nepomuceno, the 19th president.
okay, and we'll see you at Sayaw. All right, bye everybody.